All right, when you're ready, find your way down to your mat. We'll start seated, whatever that's going to be for you. You can go cross-legged, sit with your legs out in front of you, sit in a long butterfly, just get comfortable. Anchor your hips down into the mat. You can take your hands right to the tops of your legs, big roll of the shoulders to open up through your chest, relaxing the shoulders up, back, and down, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. We'll take 4 deep breaths from there. Inhale through your nose, filling the body up with air, expanding through the rib cage from side to side and front to back. And then exhale out, let all of that air go. For 3, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. For 2, inhale. And exhale, let it go. And then 1 more, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Good. With your last exhale, reach your arms so they go out to T. Oh, I totally forgot. I said I was going to do a spiel. Just follow along. You're going to be totally fine. And I'm mirroring you. Inhale as you shift over towards the right. Take your right hand down, lift your left arm up. Good. And then exhale, come all the way up through center. Can you tell it's a holiday? My brain is not fully here. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over, big side body stretch. Good. We do that 3 more times each side, shifting over towards the right, right hand down, left arm reaches up. Good. If I'm mirroring you and that's throwing you off, just do what I say and maybe not as I do. Might help a little bit. Good. Come all the way up through center. And then we go for 2 over to the right. Good. And then up through center. And we'll take it over to the left. Good. For 1 more, up and over. Good. Perfect. And then back through center. And then we go to the left. Good. And then up through center. Once you get back up through center, reach your arms so they go out in front of you, fingertips towards me. Take your right arm, bend into the right elbow so you pull your hand towards your armpit and then twist your upper body to the right. You'll unfold your right arm all the way back, reaching back through the fingertips. And I'm going to turn just so you can see that on the right side. We'll do 3 more, pulling back and then reaching, bending the elbow, and then pushing forward. For 2, we bend. And then reach, bend, and push forward. And then 1 more, we bend and reach, bend, and then press forward. Same thing on the other side. It's 4 total reps, pulling the left hand towards the armpit and then unfolding that left arm back, rotating through the chest, bending into the elbow, and then pressing the left arm forward. For 3 more, we bend the elbow and then unfold, bend, and then come back through center. For 2, we bend and then rotate, bend, and then push forward. For 1 more, bend the elbow and then unfold. Good. Bend the elbow and then push things forward. Good. Once your arms come back out in front of you, if your legs are crossed, uncross them so your feet come in front of you. Knees are bent, feet about hips distance. Inhale as you sit up tall. Exhale, draw in from your belly button. Start to curve your spine and roll yourself back just about halfway. Be conservative about what halfway means to you. Inhale and then exhale. You'll bring yourself all the way up. Good. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale as you draw in from the belly button. Curve your spine and roll back. Good. Inhale and then exhale right back up. Good. Let's do 2 more. Exhale as you round your spine. Inhale and then exhale right back up. Good. And then 1 more. Rounding the spine. Good. Inhale and then exhale right back up. Good. Once you get to the top, bend your elbows, stack your forearms on top of each other. Doesn't matter which one's on top. Roll yourself about halfway back and pause right there. For 3 each side, we'll inhale as we rotate the upper body over towards the right. Exhale as you come through center. And then inhale as you rotate the upper body left. Exhale through center. For 2, we twist to the right. Good. Back through center. And then we twist left and back through center. Last one, we twist right and take it back through center. Good. And then twist left. Perfect. Come back through center, pause right there. Can you pull your belly button back a little bit more? Reach your arms so they go all the way out in front of you, and then reach your legs so they go all the way out as well. Flexing your feet, you'll roll yourself all the way down to the mat, shoulders and head come down, arms reach back overhead. Inhale, this can only mean one thing. Exhale, lift your arms, press your hands down, tuck your chin to your chest, keep your feet flexed, roll yourself all the way up. Good. And then round forward through the upper back as you glide the hands forward over the toes. Good. Inhale, sit up tall, shoulders on top of hips. Relax your shoulders. Exhale as you draw in from the belly button, curving your spine, roll all the way down. Good. Shoulders and head down, arms reach back. If the roll up is feeling a little sticky today, bend your knees, try it from there. Exhale, press the hands down, tuck your chin to your chest, keep your feet flexed, roll yourself all the way up. Good. And then dive up and over. Perfect. Inhale, sit up tall. We do 2 more. You roll all the way down. Shoulders and head down, arms reach back. Inhale. Exhale, lift the arms, press the hands down, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up. Good. And then round forward. Perfect. It's 1 more like this. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, draw in from the belly button, curving your spine, rolling all the way down to your mat. Shoulders and head down, arms reach back overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lift your arms, press your hands down, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up. Good. And then round forward, opening up through the upper back, gliding the fingertips forward. Perfect. Okay, from there, we come all the way back down to our mat. So lay things down however you'd like to get there. Bend your knees, take your feet about hips distance apart. Bring your arms down by your sides. Relax the shoulders up, back, and down. You'll inhale and then exhale. You start to tilt the hips towards you to tuck the tailbone. We'll lift the hips off of the mat, coming up into our bridge. Inhale at the top, exhale as you lower all the way back down. You can take these first couple of reps, well, actually take all the reps kind of slowly and with control. Focus on the control and the precision of the movement and not the speed of your reps or the number of your reps. I'm a stickler about pace. There are a few things I'm very picky about in Pilates. One of them is absolutely the pace of your exercises. Inhale at the bottom, exhale as you lift the hips, coming up into your bridge. Good. Perfect. Inhale at the top. Good. Exhale as you lower all the way back down. Good. Perfect. And keep breathing. Unclench your jaw, relax your face. Good. If you can feel your chest pushing up in towards your face, you've probably gone a little bit too far. Good. Good. Next time that you lift up into your bridge, you'll hold it right there. So wherever the top of that bridge is for you, pause, and I'll give us all a second to meet here. See if you can re-tuck the tailbone. So the front points of your hips and the bottom of your rib cage are in line. Keep the upper body pressing down into the mat, press into the right foot, keeping the left knee bent. You pull that left knee so it comes up above the hip, and then you lower your left foot back down. Same thing on the other side. Left foot plants down. We keep that right knee bent, pulling the right knee above the hip. Good. And then we take it back down for 3 more on each side. Left side pulls in. Good. And lowers. And then right side pulls in. And lowers. Good. If this feels like a little bit much, just lower your hips closer to the mat and move from right there. You can also take your hips all the way down and do the same exact thing from right here. This works. It's the same movement. We do 1 more. Left side lifts. Good. And then right side lifts. And lowers. Good. Once your right foot lowers down, you bring your hips all the way back down to the mat. You take a second right there. Okay. Now Sheila said lower body. She didn't specify anything. So we're going to keep going with the glute bridges. When you're ready, bring your hips back up to the top of your bridge. Pause and hold it right there. Can you retuck the tailbone? Can you put a little bit of extra pressure into your right heel? Take your left knee, lift it up above your hip, and then kick the left leg up. Flex your foot. You'll inhale as you lower your left leg down so the knees are in line with each other. Pause right there. Point your toe. Lift your leg back up. For 3, flex your foot. Lower down. Point the toe. Lift back up. Good. For 2, flex and lower. Good. Point and lift. If you need to lower your hips, you lower your hips. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Can you hold your leg right here, keeping the toe pointed? 4 little circles with that left leg. It's 4, 3, 2. Good. 1 more. And then reverse that little circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend into your left knee. Left foot comes down. You lower your hips all the way back down to your mat. Take a moment. And then we do the same thing on the other side. When you're ready, you press back up into your bridge. We put some extra pressure into that left heel to stabilize us. Right knee lifts above the hip. You extend the right leg up. Flex your foot. Inhale as you lower the right leg down. Good. Point your toe. Big exhale. You lift it back up. Perfect. Flex your foot and lower. Point your toe and lift. It's 2 more. Flex and lower. Point and lift. 1 more. You'll flex and lower. Point and lift. Pause right here. Your toe stays pointed. It's 4 little circles. 4. Good. 3. Try to keep everything else stable. For 2. And 1. Reverse the circle. 4, 3. For 2. And then 1 more. Good. Bend into your right knee. Right foot comes down. You lower your hips all the way down through center. Open your arms out a little bit so they're creating a low V, and then lift your legs so they come to tabletop. Knees above the hips or even in a little bit closer. Try to connect ankles, knees, and inner thighs the best you can. We'll inhale as we tilt the knees over towards the right, letting the left hip lift, keeping the left shoulder anchored down. Exhale as you pull the knees back through center. And then inhale as you tilt the knees over towards, back crack towards the left. Right hip lifts, right shoulder stays down. Exhale up through center. We'll keep moving from here. If you feel like you can do a little bit more, when you tilt your knees over, you'll extend your legs and then bring it back through center. Bend your knees and then tilt the opposite way. So we tilt, extend. With extended legs, you come up. Through center, you bend, tilt, extend. If you try that and you're like, no, absolutely not. That feels like way too much. Just keep your knees bent. Move through the same exercise. Good. And if you don't know this about me, I like to move you guys in patterns. Patterns is kind of my thing. Combination movements, kind of my thing. Sometimes it takes our brain a little bit of time to wrap around the patterns, but we do get there. Wherever you are, we do 1 more each side. So try to even out as best you can. And if you're just not sure, like I don't remember which side we started on, then the next time you come through center, we can call it a day right there. Bend into your knees so they come back to tabletop. Bring your arms so they come in a little bit closer to your hips, and then lift your arms so they go directly above your shoulders, fingertips to the ceiling. We take a big exhale as you press your hands down, tuck chin to chest, lift up through head, neck, and shoulders so you're looking forward to the center of your thighs. Inhale as you lower all the way back down with control. Exhale, you press the hands down and lift up. Inhale as you come all the way back down to your mat. Press and lift. Good. Now I know I have you all on mute, but I want a big audible exhale as you lift up. Push the air out. It'll feel kind of annoying. So if somebody else is in the room with you, just pretend they're not there. Big exhale like this. You can do a ha breath, or I'll show you a different one. Big exhale like this. And just see if that helps you to feel a little bit more engagement in your core instead of work happening in your neck. I don't want work happening in your neck. Next time that you lift up, you'll pause and hold it right here. Fingertips reaching long. You're lifted through head, neck, and shoulders. If you need a second, you're taking it. Pull the knees in closer to you. Move your hands to the tops of your shins. Inhale as you reach the legs and arms out. Exhale, circle the arms out and around, pull the knees to your nose, curl into a little tiny ball. Inhale, everything goes out. Good. Exhale, everything comes in. You can lower your head down, take the same exact movement from right here. Good. We do 3 more. Inhale out. Exhale in for 2. Inhale out. Good. Exhale in. 1 more. Inhale out. Good. And then exhale in. Hug the knees in. Pull knees to your nose. Good. Keep holding onto the shins. Lower the shoulders and the head down to the mat. And then just take a little rock from side to side. Okay, that can be enough of that. We'll roll over onto our right side. So your right hip is down. Extend your legs so they go out towards the bottom left corner of your mat. So feet a little bit in front of the rest of your body. Couple options with your right arm. You can bend the elbow and make a little pillow for your head with your arm. That'll be option 1. Option 2, you can extend the right arm all the way out and rest your head there. Option 3, if you have a pillow or like a little towel you want to wrap up and put underneath your head, you can do that too. Okay. We're trying to push the left hip down towards the feet so that we can lift up through our right side. Left hand can come in front of you and you'll lift your left leg up. Flexing your foot, inhale as you kick your left leg forward and then point your toe and kick it back. Same thing we did in the bridge, right? We flex the foot to kick forward. We point the toe to sweep back. Flex and kick, point and sweep. Good. Flex and kick, point and sweep. It doesn't have to be a big kick, but I want your leg to stay up in line with your hip. And if you feel terribly unstable, you bend that bottom knee, pull it a little bit in front of you and see if that helps you at all. Usually it does. This is going to be kind of the more unstable option. So you pick what's going to work for you. Good. Flex and kick, point and sweep. Let's do 4 more. Flex and kick, point and sweep. Good. For 3, flex and kick, point and sweep. For 2, flex and kick, point. Woo. 1 more, flex and kick. Good. Point and sweep. Holding your left leg back so it's down in line with your hip. That right leg is still a little bit forward. Point your left toes. My foot blends in with my reformer. Point your toes. We do 8 little circles. 8. Just pick a direction. 7. 6. And they stay slow. The fun thing about being in charge is that we get to move at my pace. This is 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circles. 8. Not me being on a power trip in class. For 6, 5. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it right there. We do 4 big circles in each direction. Lifting your leg up, you'll circle forward towards me and then press your leg back. The circle is only as big as you can stay stable. So if we lift the leg up, but your hips are rocking back and you're kind of moving like this, we've gone too far. Although it is so fun to make a huge circle, focus on the control. Good. We reverse the direction here for 4. Kick forward, lift up, around, and back. Usually that direction is not as fun. That's why we're only doing 4. This is 3. Good. For 2, kick forward, up, around, and back. Ooh. And then last one, although my brain feels like we did 5. Good. Lower your left leg all the way down. Just take a moment right there. We'll roll ourselves forward so that you're face down on your mat. Take your hands under the shoulders, forearms a little bit wider than the rest of the body. Feet are reaching behind you. You'll relax your shoulders, relax your head, point the crown of your head forward. Okay. Inhale as you start to lift your chest and lift your head, pressing down into the hands and the forearms. Maybe you can come up a little bit higher, lifting the elbows and the front of the hips off of the mat. And then you'll exhale as you lower all the way back down. Just for 3, we inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. Keep hands and forearms pressing down. Maybe you can come up higher. And then exhale, we come all the way back down. Good. You do 2 more right there. Inhale, you lift your chest, you lift your head, you keep the shoulders relaxed down and back, look forward. I know you want to look at me. Don't look at me. I know you want to maintain eye contact. I understand, but you don't have to worry about being polite. Good. That can be our last one. Inhale, lift. Good. And then exhale, lower. Good. Pause right there at the bottom. Hands stay under the shoulders. We bring the legs together. You'll press yourself up to plank, and then you reach your hips all the way back to child's pose. And when I say plank, I meant modified plank. Okay, hips back to heels. Find your child's pose. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And then we set up to do the same exact thing on the other side. So pull things forward. You can come right about to the center of your mat. Now we'll lay down onto our left hip, reaching the legs out towards the right corner of the mat. You can bend the left elbow. You can extend it out. You can do whatever you want to, whatever's comfortable. Flex your feet. Push the top hip down towards your feet. You see what happens when I do that? When you press your hip down, you can lift up right here. Keeps everything in line. It forces you to stay engaged into your obliques. Isn't that fun? Core work, even though we're working the hip. Lift up through the right leg, flex your foot. Inhale, kick your leg forward, and then point your toe. Exhale, sweep back. Flex your foot. Inhale forward. Point your toe. Exhale back. Good. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Good. Same thing we talked about on the other side. It does not have to be a big kick. It can stay pretty tiny. The name of the game with exercises like this is that you're moving in a way that you can control. So I'll show you what it looks like to be out of control on this. If you kick forward and your leg's going down, or you kick back and your hip is opening up. This, again, although it's like maybe a little bit fun, there's no control, right? No control. And we want to be in control of what our body's doing in this context. Good. Let's do 4 more. Flex your foot. Inhale, kick it forward. Point your toe. Exhale back. For 3, flex and kick. Point and sweep. For 2, flex and kick. Good. Point and sweep. 1 more. We flex and kick. Point and sweep, and you hold it right there, pointing your toe. Good. Your leg is still up in line with your hip. It's 8 little circles. You pick your favorite direction to start in. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then reverse that circle. 8. Oh my gosh. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, you hold it right here. 4 big, you can do it. You can do it. 4 big circles, lift your leg up, circle forward. Good. And then press it back for 3, lift up. Good. Circle forward and then press back. It's 2, lift up. Good. Forward and then back. 1 more, lift up. Good. Good. Press it back. Reverse the circle, kicking forward. Up, around, and back. Gosh, on this side, that doesn't feel so nice. For 3, kick forward. Up, around, and back. Good. For 2, forward. Up, around, and back. Oh my gosh. 1 more, kick forward. Up, around, and back. Perfect. And then bring your legs together. Take a second right there. Scream a little bit internally, and then roll yourself over again so that you're face down on your mat. Your feet are about hips distance apart, if not a little bit wider than that. Press the tops of your feet into the mat, and then move your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders. Relax your shoulders up, back, and down. We'll lift the chest, lift the head just a touch, and then keep your left hand pressing down. I want you to reach the right arm out, fingertips long. And then just pull that right arm back in. You can hover the right arm away from the mat. Inhale as we reach that right side out. Exhale as we pull it back in. For 2, we inhale, reach. And then exhale back in. 1 more. Inhale, reach. You're looking down, but a little bit forward. And then exhale in. Take a second. You'll reach that right arm back out. Hold it there. And just for 2, you'll inhale as you open the right arm up to the right side of the room. You can look to your fingertips, reaching the right hand back towards the hip. Exhale as you bring that right arm back to your starting point. For 2, we open. Oh gosh. I'm whooping my own butt. Good. Everything comes forward. You can pull the right arm back down and then lower your chest, lower your head for just a second. Okay, same thing on the other side. So we relax the shoulders, you lift your chest, you lift your head. We're trying to anchor down into the right forearm, anchor into the hips, anchor into the tops of the feet. We inhale. Oh gosh, doesn't feel like it's going to work as well on this side. Inhale, reach the left arm out, and then exhale, pull it back in. Like, what is going on? Inhale, reach out for 3, and then back in. For 2, inhale, reach. Yes, good. And then back in. 1 more, reach. Good. And then back in. Perfect. When you're ready, you're going to go right back out with that left arm, keeping the fingertips long and your arms straight. You open the left arm up, reaching the hand back towards the hip. And then exhale, you can close that left arm, reaching fingertips forward. For 1 more, you open. Woo, and then bring it back around, fingertips forward. Good. Then you can lower the left arm all the way down, lower the chest, lower the head, bring your legs all the way together, and then press yourself up to modified plank. If you're really feeling it, you'll tuck your toes under, pop up into a high plank. Inhale there. And then a big exhale, you'll lift the hips up. If you're in your modified plank, you're going to reach the hips back. Okay, but high plank, we lift the hips up. And then we inhale, pull forward, coming back to plank. If you're on the knees, we can press the hips back and then pull forward to modified plank. You do that 3 more times. Big exhale, lift. Inhale, take it back to plank for 2. And we move nice and slow. I know that is not some of your preferred paces, but here we go. 1 more, we lift. Good. And then come back to plank. Pause right there. Can you start to walk your hands in towards your feet as you lift your hips up and then anchor your heels down? If you were in your modified plank, you can do that same thing. Just walk the hands in towards the feet, press down into your heels, start to rebuild the spine, bringing yourself all the way up to stand, shoulders on top of hips, crown of the head lifts up. Lovely. Once you get up to stand, you can make your way back towards the center of your mat. We'll walk the feet out nice and wide, wider than the hips, toes turned out, heels turned in, a little tuck of the tailbone so that you're in your neutral position. I feel like the transition from down to up always gets me a little bit tired. Well, inhale as we bend into the knees, you lower down into a squat. Exhale, press into your heels, come back up to stand. We inhale, lower, and then exhale, lift. Good. Perfect. Now, in my perfect world, I would love it if you could keep your shoulders right on top of your hips and imagine you're sliding straight down a wall and then straight back up. That does not work for everyone's hips. So if it feels better to take a little hinge forward and then come back up, I want you to do that. All right. Good. And lift. Good. We'll lower and then lift. You can do, I'm like thinking of too many sentences at once. You can do whatever you want to with your hands. Don't move them around like I do. It won't help you, but hands at your hips is great. Hands up at your chest works great too. If you feel like you just need a little bit of arm choreography to occupy your mind, as you lower down into your squat, you can reach the arms to T. As you stand up, you can lower the arms down. Inhale as you lower. Good. Exhale as you lift. Good. Lower. And then lift. Let's do 3 more. We lower and then lift. For 2, lower and lift. Last one, we lower, you hold it right there. Okay. See if you can get a little bit lower into your squat, just a touch lower. And then we keep the hips level. You'll inhale as you shift the upper body over towards the right. Exhale back through center. Inhale as you shift the upper body left. Good. Exhale through center. For 3, we shift right and then back through center, and then we shift left. and back through center for 2. If you need to lift up a little bit and take it from here, you lift up. I also need to lift up a little bit. My inner thigh right away was like, what are we doing? No, thank you. Good. Come back through center. And then last one, we go over to the left. Good. And then you come back through center, stand all the way up, lower the arms down. Okay, good. Take a second right there. Move your hands so they come behind your head, opening your elbows up wide. This time we inhale, lower down into our squat. You'll side bend over towards the right. Exhale up through center. And then we side bend left. Exhale up through center. And then you come all the way up to stand. Good. You'll lower. We do a little side bend and up, side bend and up, and then all the way up to stand. It'll just be 3 more like that, although 3 will feel like probably 6. So stick with me. Oh no, Coco's crying in her crate for 2. Oh, it's breaking my heart. 1 more, inhale, lower. Good, side bend. And then side bend. Good. And then come all the way up to stand, lower the arms down. Good. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Take a second right here. We're going to work on just a little bit of balancing stuff. I'm actually going to flip this way. Feet about hips distance apart. Your hands can come to your hips. We're going to start with the left leg leading and stabilizing. You get a little bit lighter through your right toes. You'll inhale as you bend into your left knee, reaching the right leg back. And then exhale, you press into that left heel. You come up to stand. Right knee goes in line with the hip. We inhale, lower down. You reach the right leg back, bending into the left knee. Exhale, press into the heel. You take the right knee in line with the hip. If that feels like it's not happening today, you step back and then you come up. Okay. Back and up. Good. Perfect. Okay. We have a little hinge forward so that you can create a diagonal line from your toe to your hip, to your shoulders, up out the crown of your head. And then as we lift the right knee up in line with the hip, you're in a tall spine. Okay. So we go down, hinge, and then we stand up. For 3, we lower and lift. For 2, lower. Good. And lift. Oof. 1 more, you'll lower and pause right there. Good. We're pretty light through the right toes. Hands can stay at your hips. We're supported in that left leg. It's going to be a little lift of the right leg just for 6. Little lift and lower. For 5, little lift and lower. For 4, lift. For 3, 2, 1 more. Good. Press into your left heel. Bring yourself all the way up to stand as you take that right knee in line with your hip. Hands stay at your hips. We'll lower the right toes down and then exhale, lift that knee back up. Just for 5, it's a lower and lift. 4, lower. For 3, for 2. Good. 1 more. And then take your right foot down to the mat. Just take a second and march out through the legs because oh my gosh, your left hip is probably feeling warm. It's probably feeling warm. So give it a second. Good news is for a lot of us, our right side is probably just a touch stronger than the left. So when we do it on this side, it may feel a little bit, I'm always hesitant to say easier. It may go a little bit smoother for you. Okay. When you're ready, right foot stays down on the mat. We get lighter through the left toes. Hands can come to your hips. We inhale to reach that left leg back, bending into the right knee. Exhale, press into that right heel. Bring yourself up to stand. Left knee in line with the hip. We inhale, send that left leg back, bending into the right knee. Exhale, press into the right heel, lift back up to stand, and you'll keep moving from there. Inhale as you reach back. Good. And then exhale up. Good. If you're tucking your left toes under when you go back, maybe don't. Maybe don't. Stay lighter through the left toes so that when you're coming up out of this, and that was a bad example, so that when you're coming up out of this, we're not pushing off of that back leg. All that work is happening in your right side. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. It'll be 2. We lower and lift. Oh my gosh, here's the last one. We lower, you hold it there. Stay stable in the right leg. It's a little lift of the left for 6, 5, 4, for 3. Does not get easier for 2. Oh my gosh. And then one more. Press into that right heel, bring yourself all the way up to stand. Your knee is up in line with your hips, shoulders on top of your hips. Inhale as you lower the left toes down. Exhale as you lift that left knee in line with the hip. For 5, we lower. Good. And then lift. It's okay if you lose your balance. It's really not a big deal. It's not that serious. 4. For 3, 2, 1 more. Good. Left foot comes down to meet the right, and then we just take a little march through the legs. Good. Okay, from here, make your way towards the edge of your mat that's in front of you, so you have mat behind you. We're going to take a big bend into the knees and then just lower down onto the mat. What a fun transition that is, right? Okay, you pause right there at the bottom. Your knees can stay bent. Let's roll ourselves all the way down to the mat and just take a second right there. Walk your feet in just a little bit closer to you. Oh my gosh. And then you'll reach your arms so they go up above your shoulders. Let's press the palms together, fingertips towards the ceiling. Try to close the space between the 2 bottom tips of your rib cage. Tilt the hips backwards towards you. Okay, we'll inhale right here. On your exhale, you're going to lift up through head, neck, and shoulders and twist the upper body over towards the right, reaching the fingertips towards the outside of that right thigh. And then inhale, you lower back down. Exhale, we come up and over, reaching to the outside of the left thigh. And then inhale, you come back down through center. Exhale, we lift. And then inhale, we lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Now you assess how you feel right here. If you're like, oh yeah, I could do this all day long. No big deal. You can float one leg to tabletop to start. And then if you're like, yeah, one leg, I got it under control. You lift both legs to tabletop and you keep moving from right there, lifting up and over, and then back through center, lifting up and over, and then back through center. Okay, good. With the legs in tabletop, ideally your legs shouldn't move at all. So we're twisting in the upper body. We're finding that movement from pretty much the rib cage up. Let's do one more on each side. Lift up and over. And then up and over to the other side. Good. And then everything will come down. You can keep your legs in tabletop if they're there already. Maybe take a moment, hug the knees to the chest. Just take a breather. Okay, when you're ready, if your legs are not in tabletop, I'll invite you to bring them there. Hands go back above your shoulders, fingertips to the ceiling. We're finding our neutral spine wherever that is for you. On your exhale, you're lifting up and over, reaching the hands towards the outside of that right leg, holding the right leg still. We take the left leg. You inhale, extend that left leg out. Exhale as you pull it back in. Inhale out, and you're looking forward towards your fingers. Exhale in. Let's do 3. Inhale out. And then exhale in. For 2. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. And then you can bring your upper body down through center. When you're ready, same thing on the other side. We exhale, come up through head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the hands towards the outside of the left thigh, holding the left leg still. You'll inhale, reach the right leg away from you. Exhale as you pull that right knee back in. Inhale everything out. Woo. Exhale everything in. Good. Inhale everything out. Good. Exhale everything in. Let's say it's 3 more. Inhale out. Exhale in. Woo. For 2. 1 more. Good. With your last one, your head, neck, and shoulders can come down. Hug your knees so they come in towards your chest. Take a moment right there. Whew. Okay, move your hands so they go behind the hamstring, right about here. Pull the knees in really close to you. Inhale, and then on your exhale, we're going to use a little bit of momentum to bring ourselves all the way up. Perfect. Feet about hips distance. We'll bring the hands so they go behind us, fingertips pointing forward towards your butt, elbows pointing back towards the opposite edge of your mat. Sit up really tall, pressing up out of the hands, and then you'll exhale as you curve your spine, start to bend the elbows and lower down a little bit closer to your mat. Inhale, and then exhale as you press right back up, tall spine. Inhale and exhale, we roll back. Good. We're going to get a little bit of tricep work in here. Man, is it tough to do upper body without push-ups. But I'm choosing to be nice and not make you do 10 push-ups to end class. But I guess there is still time, so I could change my mind, but I won't. Inhale, lower. Good. Exhale, lift. Good. Perfect. Okay. Now, if you can get further to the mat, all it's going to do is force you to push more of your body weight up. So the further you get down, the more challenging it is going to be. And we're going to add a little bit onto this. We'll inhale, lower down on this one. Exhale, you'll press up, tall spine right here. Keep your hands pressing into the mat, press into your heels, lift the hips so you find a reverse tabletop. Good. Bring your hips back down and then bend the elbows, roll back. Press it back up, tall spine, pushing into the hands. You lift the hips and then take it all the way down. We bend the elbows and lower. We pull it back up, tall spine, press the hips. Good. Let's do 2 more. And if your wrists are bothering you, you can always stop at any point that you feel like you've had enough. Really. I mean that wholeheartedly. Good. Last time we press up. And then you bring it all the way down. Good. Hips come down and then we'll come off of the wrists, give them a little shake like you're flicking water off of your fingertips or off of your hands, like you just wash your hands. There's no towel to be found. You got to air dry them like this. Okay. To wrap up, we're coming into a high kneeling position. So make that transition. Knees are about hips distance apart. If you need a little bit of cushion underneath your knees or you don't like high kneeling, go seated either on the ground or maybe in a chair, whatever you have around. Slight tuck of the tailbone so you find your neutral spine. We'll take the arms down by our sides, flipping the palms forward, soft bend into the elbows. For 8, you'll inhale, lift the arms up in line with the shoulders. Exhale as you lower the arms down. Now I'll say this, if you happen to have something around like, oh, I don't know, maybe some light weights, could you use them? Sure. If you were feeling very adventurous, you could use them for this. Am I going to? Absolutely not. For 3, lift. Good. And lower. It's 2. You'll lift. And lower. Good. Last one. You lift and hold it right here. Good. Inhale, open the arms so they go out by your sides. Good. Exhale as you bring things right back in. Good. We inhale, open. And then exhale, close. Inhale, open. Good. Exhale, close. As you open your arms are staying a little bit forward of your shoulders just so that this doesn't happen. That. I don't want that to happen. I want it to be right about here. Let's say it's 4. Open and close. For 3, you open and close. It's 2. And here comes the fun surprise. Open the arms out, hold it right here. Extend your arms so they go out like as straight as they can be. Your palms are flipping up towards the ceiling. We take 10 slow presses up. So you push up with the hands and lower. We go 9, 8, 7. I know we get ambitious with the weights and then we go into this. It's like, yeah, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your arms lifted, flip your palms down towards the ground. You press down and lift for 9, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good. For 2, 1 more. Arms stay lifted, palms flip forward towards me. You press forward an inch, pull back for 9, for 8, 7, good, for 6, 5, for 3, 2, and 1. Arms stay lifted, and now you flip the palms back. So rotate down so your thumbs are pointing down towards the ground. Palms are flipping back. I think this one is the, oh, Susanna, you can do it. You can do it. We press back 10, 9. That was the most dramatic drop of the arms. 8, good, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause right here. Flip the palms back up towards the ceiling. We're making 4 big circles with the arms. So you're going to circle up and around and then lower down for 3, up and around. That should feel maybe a little bit nice for 2. 1 more. Kind of a nice release. And then we reverse that circle. So you can press back, up and around for 3, back, up and around. For 2. 1 more. Good. Arms can come all the way down. Keep your knees where they are. Just bring your hands forward so you come down into a tabletop position. Spread your fingertips wide. Press into the fingertip, the knuckle, and the heel of the hand. We'll inhale as we drop the belly button, open up the chest, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press up and away, curving the spine, pointing the crown of the head down. For 3, we inhale, arch, open up the chest, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press up and away, curving the spine, crown of the head points down. For 2, inhale. And then exhale. 1 more, inhale. Good, and then exhale. Good. With your last one, just pause right there in your tabletop, tuck your toes under, big exhale to lift your knees off of the mat. Inhale there. Another big exhale, press your hips up and back, pushing the heels down towards your mat. Keeping your heels anchored, walk your hands in towards your feet, soft bend into your knees, let the upper body hang. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Just let your head point down, let your upper body sway a little bit. Usually that is pretty nice. Inhale here. Good. And then when you're ready, you can start to rebuild your spine, tucking chin to chest, roll yourself all the way up to stand, shoulders on top of hips, crown of the head lifts up, and we are all finished. Woo! Oh, yeah, the arms at the end is a little, ooh.